What's up, you guys? It is Sunday here. I'm a little bit sick, but we'll get through this. We've got two games to go through in this Saturday one. Very exciting games. They were, apart from the second one, to be honest, it was close, which was good, but lots of drop ball. This one here, Dogs put up a fight. Like, Sharks just seem to not be able to put teams away at the moment. They eventually did in this one, but overall, Sharks v Doggies here, 33-20. The game was, as I said, solid. Heinze showed his class a few times there. Britton Nakora is an absolute freak on that right-hand side. He's going to get so much benefit from Heinze in that situation there, so good stuff for him. Some still good play from Burton at certain times. He is at least running the ball now, and that's good news for his point scoring as well. Across the board there, it was a pretty solid one. There was a fair few decent scores, and you'd be happy with multiple plays in this game, really. Corey Waddell, what a game for him. 73 in this one in 73 minutes. Did get a try. Everything went his way there. He had one missed tackle, so he wasn't an option. I saw a few people gloating about picking him up, so well done to you. You're one of the a very, very small percentage, 0.6 there, that picked up Corey Waddell. Nico Hines, 72, so just showing his class again, guys, and he will continue keeping his price, so just over $1 million. He's gained 35k on his starting price, averaging 78 for the season, so great work from him. He was a low one at halftime again, and then went all the way up to 72, exactly like last week. So for those that have him, you've obviously captained him in this one, and that worked out great. Even though it was a wet and rainy one, he was still able to do great. Obviously, he's going to do great. His hair's always wet. It's going to make it even slicker and even harder to tackle. So for him, only a couple of tackle breaks there, but everything across the board, even some negatives. Negative 12 there, 3 penalties, couple of misses, and an error. Still able to get 72, just as I said, just scores in every single way and got a field goal at the end. Nakora, I thought he was going to get bigger than this. The tackles are fairly low at 26 and 2 misses. So overall, every time he got the ball, he looked like he was going to make a break. So got a tackle break, offloads in there, a line break, and a try assist as well, which is really nice. So Nakora, definitely a solid option, guys. He's been great all year, averaging 58.6. So one of the higher ones across the league, that's for sure. Matty with that 58. So again, as I said, running the ball, kicking well, 423 there in his kick meters. Playing the 7 role didn't change too much, I don't think, for him. He was pretty much in that role anyway. Flanagan playing that secondary role, and got a nice try assist in there. 12 tackles for 2 misses, kind of what we expect from him. Those 5 missed tackle games are not ideal at all. A few offloads in there and 3 goals. So a bit of everything across the board. Braden Burns, we know the talent that he possesses. 56 in this one. He's priced too high. Ronaldo Mulatalo, 53 for him. What about him butchering tries, man? It's ridiculous. He's done that twice now, where he's just like, I'm too cool for this. I'm going to dive right in the corner, pops his arm down, and out. So if you own him, you'd be absolutely crying. Ridiculous, the things that he can do. This man, super talented, but has some brain snaps, that's for sure, and that was one of them. Okay, guys, I brought in Cam McInnes. So Suoli'i went to Cam McInnes. Very happy with the 49. Price, way under that. He's priced in the low 40s there. So anything close to that 50 mark over the next 5 weeks is my goal. Trade him out in probably round 13, unless there's any other further injuries. And hopefully we can get at least over the next few weeks, average of 50, and then potentially a 45 from there on, and we'll get him up into the low to mid 600s at worst, and scores of close to the 50 mark, which is great. So that's the play with McInnes. He was the only guy I could get. I had 576k, I think, in the bank. So McInnes was the play in that one. 49. Was hoping for a few more. He was at a bit over a point a minute for most of his first stint. And then just so many points in this game, guys. For a workhorse like McInnes, if the game's 18-16 like it was in the Knights and the Cowboys, he would have had a lot more tackles in this one. He just gets in there. He's a tackle bot. 2 missed tackles and an error, unfortunately. Those ones there, they kill you. And it was on last. He got caught. They passed it to him, he got caught with it. They were a bit frazzled at that point, and he went to offload out the back, and they tackled him at the same time. He gets an error instead of an offload. It's that 4 to 6 point swing is crazy. So anyway, happy with McInnes and his output. I wouldn't be picking him up now. It was this week or last week, so that's that with him. Bradley, 48, had a nice line break. No one touched him, so too easy. Not an option at the moment. Preston, 48. So I was really happy with his output, guys. He did have a nice line break in there on that left-hand side. He's a strong player, and he seems to be sneaking that line break here and there with his elusive young man footwork. He's made 378k, which is crazy, and he'll continue to go up a little bit further after these solid scores here. 48, averaging 49 now. So if he continues to do that over the next few weeks, then he'll be up near that 700k mark, which is awesome. I still think he's a clear hold, especially playing the 80 minutes. As soon as I saw Davey come on a little bit earlier, it was like happy days. Preston's going to play. close to that full 80. So, and he did this one and got 48. So happy days with him, especially in the low week. He scored more than Cam Murray, for example. So that's that. Kennedy with 3 tries in the first half was an incredible effort from him. Again, not really an option unless you're looking for a weird, awkward mid-price fullback over the Origin period. Maxi King, 41. In this one, in 58 minutes, he was solid without being spectacular. Just a few negatives in this one. No big stats, no attacking stats at all. Guys, we're heading into the bye period now. I think it'd be best today, especially if you've got some time over the next few, just to jump in and have a look at my Stormy Round 9 situation and my bye planning video, which is at the start of the week on Monday there. So that's a really, really cool one to go and check out. It looks at where my team's at, the things you'll have to do for the bye period, and making sure that you're set up in that time, and potentially what could happen if you trade too heavy over the next bunch of rounds, and then you have to trade crazy each and every week to get a good amount of players on the park. So there's a way of being strategic about it. I'm actually going to get Mark from Fantasy Amateurs to come on over the next few days. I'm going to have a big discussion on buy planning, which is going to be really cool. Averillo, 41 in this one. So he's been better over the last few weeks. I still wouldn't look to pick him up, but that's that. Wilton, I think he's coming towards the end of his tenure as an edge in your side. Again, you thank him for his time and effort. 100k rises, average just under 48. He's done a good job. I think he's one of those guys with a buy in round 13. You can move him on because he just hasn't been performing as well as he'd like. He's been getting the odd line break and stuff, but the missed tackles, firing out of the line is what's killing him at the moment. Reedy, 35. So not good again. So that's a few average ones in a row, in amongst that good one a couple of weeks ago. So 35 for him. Again, the missed tackles are there. He gets a bit annoyed sometimes when they're losing, gets a penalty away, and an error as well, just out of dummy half. So he has some shockers, and then he can do really good things, kicking out dummy half, forced dropouts, and the like. So Marnie, not panic stations, but he's definitely one you need to look at potentially moving on at some point if the hooking situation improves, because at the moment it's not. We'll see from the next game. Robson didn't score very well either, so that's that there. Perham, if you held on to him, you got the 35, so he won't lose as much as you would have thought he might in this game, and if you played him, then that's cool as well. Oregon, for anyone that picked up Oregon, 33 in 41 minutes. That's kind of where his PPM's been at. So last week was Lou with an outlier. That's where he's at this week. Tavita Pangai, this is the tough one. 31 for him in his 49 minutes. So he had pretty much the same minutes. He had almost the same running meters and tackles. He had 21 last week, but just the one offload and a couple of negatives there. No tackle breaks in this one. Just seemed to run it dead straight. Only had one of those sort of sideways diagonal runs and he got caught. So yeah, a little bit annoying for Pangai. Tried to offload early and dropped it. So it's going to be hit and miss. It's going to be a roller coaster for those who picked him up. Last week was a much better week than this one, unfortunately. And if you picked him up this week, you don't trade, because next week you get 65, 70 I suppose for him, it's more of a wet weather game, which I think is kind of stuffed him up a bit. I think he'll be better for the run. But minutes are good, guys. 50 minutes for Tavita Pangai. It's all you kind of need from him there. Talakai, 30. He's lost a bit of cash now. Not one I'd look at just yet. Potentially after 13 for sure. Alamotti, 22. He was in a bad way at the start of this game. He was missing a lot of tackles on Nikora there, but he helped himself out. He did pick up 3 offloads, a turnover tackle there. 7 misses, not good. 10 tackles, so neg 4 in that department. 1 tackle break, 105 meters. Did get a forced dropout as well. So Alamotti, you'll take the 22. Hopefully you didn't play him. I had him in my emergencies. He's one of those guys you could hold or sell. I can see merit in either one of them. Hazleton, if you picked him up, 18 this week. A little bit annoying again, just not getting the minutes, unfortunately. So if you picked him up, that is annoying. Let's move on to the second game there. Cowboys and the Knights. So lots of drop ball in this one. Completion rates weren't great at all. And really, there were some good scores and there's some pretty poor ones as well. So Cotter, we spoke about him as being a great points option over the next few weeks. This game has not actually updated, unfortunately. So Cotter goes down to, I believe, 62. Instead of the 68. I will get that up actually while we're here. But Cotter 62 in this one. The tackles are down just a tick. And I think tackle breaks are down just a little bit as well. So for Cotter, anyway, 62 for him. Exactly what you want. High 50s was kind of the thought with Cotter coming into this one as to how he would score. And he completely did that. And if you can do that over the next 5 games, if he then gets picked for Origin, then obviously you could look to move him on then. But until that point, he's 63 you got. Until that point, then he's going to be great. Would you pick him up next week? It's probably hard for a 4-week play, but I can understand if you want that 60 type of average over the next bunch of weeks, then Cotter's going to be your man. Gagai there, he had a good game as well. 67 for him in this one, so he was the highest point scorer actually. And he's been doing really well. 14 tackle breaks is crazy, 2 offloads to hand. So a game that I expected from some of these outside backs, especially for the Knights. Greg Marzu, Dane Gagai. Lockie Miller didn't score as much as we would have hoped, but the rest of the guys, Bradman Best, did great as well. So Gags, not really an option, but that's that for him. Drinkwater becomes much more important over the next bunch of weeks. So a 62 in this one, much more involved, 216 run meters. This is what we were hoping for when I first picked him up. So it would be very scary to try and pick him up from here, but a 500k in a wing fullback position is pretty tough. I think Drinkwater is going to be one of those solid picks, to be honest with you. So we'll look at him over the next few weeks and decide on Drinky for sure. Val Holmes, 56 in this one. He had a good game as well. Terrific line break, terrific try assist in that one down the left-hand side, 222 meters. He was really, really good. Would you pick him up? No. Because would you hold him? Yes. Like with Origin coming up, he's not going to be a buy, but he's definitely someone you don't want to be selling at this point. Frizzell, 52 in this one. I was hanging on that error all game. A few guys in the private group were like, you got a keen eye. I was like, yep. There's a lot of guys in the top 100, top 1,000 who have Frizzell, who are doing really well on Frizz there. So for him, a 52 was solid. He did get that line break there. He just seems to get those attacking stats, which is absolutely killer for anyone who doesn't own him. But he is priced according to that score now. So not a big loss. He did his job there. Fitzgibbon keeps doing his thing. 51 average for him. He's been doing really well. Robson, a 50. So got that try early. He was 25 in 22 minutes. Ended up at 30 at halftime, which was like, that's a bit annoying after that start. But just no real. They ran the ball a little bit, no tackle breaks, no offloads that he's been getting. So really not a good score. But which of these hookers are scoring well at the moment? It's crazy. This position's been really weird. Hey, no one's really stepping up and doing a good thing. But Robson, you take the 50 this week after the shocker last week. He loses some more cash. And if you're looking to pick him up, it's scary, but I can understand why you would be looking to grab him over the next bunch of weeks. We'll speak about him further throughout the next bunch of weeks. Bradman Best, 49 for him. He was solid as well. Can't expect too much out of him. He hasn't been averaging super well in this one, but definitely did definitely did a job and is an awkward price. And him, Isaiah Tass, they're the type of guys at that price point in the centers at the moment. You'd probably go for Tass with in a better team. Marzu ended up at 53, so if you own him, a great score from him. In this one, got a try, picked up a try saver as well, did his job. Peter Hickey, a much improved game for him. Worked hard in defense, offloaded the ball, ran the ball well, and did his job. Kyle Felt, 46 now. His average is improving, and he's going to start to make some cash. So in that wing fullback position, if you think the last few weeks, he hadn't been scoring tries for the first part of the year because of how bad the Cowboys have been, but since then, he's been scoring a lot better, and if you think he can continue to do that, then he's a little bit undervalued, but at the moment, he was over 100k down, and now in the 92, going to be about 70 after this, just probably not worth it. Leo Thompson, lower minutes in this one, so that is a worry, but he still scored great, and I still think he's a trade out, guys, so look to move him on. 600k now, been great for you. McLean had a pretty good game, 42. Hastings there, 41. Granville, wow. This one, hey, if I knew he was starting, I think I would have traded him in, but not sure what my trades would have looked, if they would have looked different, or if I would have just gone, if I would have gone the 3 trades, or if I would have just gone Manu and Granville there and not gone for McInnes. It's an interesting one. He was an awkward one for me as well because I got 2 hookers from the same team. So it's not like he covers over any of that period, but 42 for him, 59 minutes. They didn't play Mitch Dunn or Tom Chester. So big minutes for Cotter, big minutes for Granville, Hess and McLean, 48 and 51 minutes there as well. So Granville did his job. He's going to make some cash now and could potentially be an option next week. We'll speak about him a little bit further as well. Ponga ended up 41 in this one, so welcome back to him. If you're looking for someone over the next bunch of weeks, then Ponga could be your guy, but he will play Origin if he's fit and healthy. You saw the ability he has to really open this game up, and he did that at certain times for sure. Ponga there, okay, 34 for him he ended up. I swear he got more tackle breaks than the 5, but I'm not sure. It looked like maybe he was just close to getting a bunch of them at the end. I don't know. Anywho, Miller there, 34. 2 low scores. He had a bit of a shocker in this one. A couple of errors, a couple of missed tackles. He will be better for the run, guys. He did pick up the 5 tackle breaks, but lower run meters for him. He will lift on that one. 2 low scores in a row. People asking if they should sell him. He was averaging in the mid-60s before that, like that 4 or 5 game stretch. So Miller, hold on to him. He'll be fine. Crossland end up at 38. So Tacklebot, he is 43 tackles, 3 misses in this one and a neg 1 in the inside 10. And then, actually, why did they give him an inside 10? It was a full penalty. Anyway, and then he got ended up with a point for run meters. I think he got to 16 in the end. So, and they were mainly just off offloads, and he ran a little bit and then pass it. So, Crossland there did his job. You're hoping for about a 40 average, and he got 38. So happy with that. And then Jasewski, he ended up with a 38. So he went up a fair bit in updates there. His missed tackles went down too, so that helped him out for sure. But yeah, Goz there, solid one there. 32 in his, 38 in his output. Again, don't really look at him. You probably look at Granville before Goss there because Harlan Lukey will be back. That won't affect Granville because it'll be 80 minute like for like with Jasewski there. So that's that with him. Kroko, I need to get rid of him if you haven't yet. Minutes are right down. If you picked up Man, it's very upsetting because I was kind of trying to tell you that minutes might drop a little bit with him. Gamble, Ponga, there was a few things going on in that situation. So, Man, bit of an outlier last week we were speaking about, and that definitely showed in this one, unfortunately. Nanae, shocker. 9 missed tackles again. Like, what's he doing? Not sure what's going on with Jeremiah. He having a fall from grace. Got his big contract. Very upsetting at the moment. And Jacob Saifidi comes back with a 19. So that's that video, guys. I hope you enjoyed that one. Sorry for the voice. And I wish you all the best in the last 4 games of the round.